So then I realized, it dawned on me after going to like the third or fourth, all the propane was gone, everything.
Everything's gone.
I go, oh my God, everyone's pipes are freezing down here. They're all bursting because down there, the typical freeze line where they bury everything. Yeah. So, I mean, thankfully I got to see that because in the springtime when we decided to run the lines, we got the excavator. Oh, I said, go as fucking deep as we can go. And the guys sent on the excavators like, are you sure we need to go that deep? And I'm like, motherfucker, go down until we hit rock. So like my water lines are buried from my well to my cabin. I mean, I would say minimum 4 feet. One spot there at 3 feet because we hit rock. We couldn't go any deeper. Yeah. So when I was just down there this weekend, I was telling you about an hour ago about what happened to some of my pipes, inside of the cabin. But it was just as cold though. We're having like 10-degree weather, freezing weather, and things like that down there. So the weather everywhere seems to be a little bit more unpredictable than it was, I don't know, for at least a few years.
Last couple of years have been. We've gotten off on some easy winters the last couple of years.
Yeah. The the cold and the sleet and things like that. It's definitely where it becomes a little bit more dangerous for everybody. But I was going to go down and shoot this weekend. That was something I was going to do because I didn't know if you were going to drag me in here and make me shoot. So I was like, I better brush up.
Gotta practice.
Yeah, I better practice.
I gotta look good.
Yeah. Wrong. Get down there. Yeah, it's any metal that I touch down there, I'm like, my hands were, I had to bring the saws from the shed up onto my porch. I had to basically make like a workstation up on my porch so I could get work done inside the cabin. Just every piece of metal you touch, was just burning your hands. It's so cold.
The worst, yeah.
Yeah, so I was driving back. I'm like, well, I didn't really get any fucking shooting done, I guess. It is what it is,
That's right. We won't test you today.
Yeah, good. Good. Be a mess.
So I want to welcome everybody here today to the Accuracy Matters podcast. I'm Dan Kogan with 360 Precision. And today I have the privilege of having with me Erik Purcell. Thanks for coming in, making the trip all the way back from Tennessee.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This is what probably brought me back. I probably would have stayed down there another day or two, freezing my ass off. But I definitely wanted to be here, and I really appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Erik, for those who don't know, had was a regional pro career in MMA.
Yep.
Right. Started a couple of gyms. We'll go into that in a little bit. So you ran a couple of different gyms. The previous one, NPR Endurance, and now we're going to be going into Encoded
MMA. Yeah.
MMA. So that'll be the new gym. We'll go into all that in a little bit. But your dream, obviously, of the Tennessee off the grid, what do we call it? Farm.
Yeah.
It's
postponed a little bit.
It's postponed a little bit, so we'll.
Yeah, I'm still with the new gym and the way that it's going to be kind of streamlined and run. I'll be able to get down there a little bit more often. So that's something I'm looking forward to do. But other than that, it's getting down to the ranch is. It's really therapeutic for me at this point. So even if I get down for a few days at a time, I kind of come back feeling a little rejuvenated, a little bit beat up, my hands from doing a bunch of work down there and everything.
Manual labor.
Yeah, a lot of manual labor, but overall, I'm excited about everything that's coming up.
That's cool. Yeah, the new gym sounds great. I know you've trained me a little bit when I had a little bit more free time than what I have right now. But
you punched me in my face multiple times.
I don't know about that. I did say that we should have in the comments section down below something about like how long do you think it would take Erik to knock me out? And because there's that what is it with Ronda Rousey on Entourage, where you ever see that episode where like they bet Turtle how like he can go on a date with Ronda if he lasts like 60 seconds in the ring with her, right? Hilarious, and he just starts running circles around the ring, just trying to last 60 seconds.
That's one way to do it.
So he doesn't get knocked out.
It's funny, we get asked those questions a lot as fighters, or down in Tennessee. Actually, I got a text from the owner of Fran's Pub up in New Hope.
Okay.
He texts me and he's like, I got a friend here. And he was talking about he could beat up a pro fighter, so I'm sitting down at the ranch and you're constantly getting, these kinds of questions. And I go, no, your friend would fucking die. Your friend would fucking die. So just let them know.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things where look, if you have a surgeon, you know, somebody that goes to medical school, you know, obviously they got good grades, they've studied this stuff, they've spent 10 to 15 years in school, or I mean, any trade. You know,
Right.
I've spent 30 years fighting, you know, so it's just I'm at a situation now where no one's definitely not invincible by any stretch of the imagination, which is one reason that I enjoy shooting, hand-to-hand combat, sort of, you know, training and all those things as well, because I understand the broad scope of not just having awareness, but, you know, limitations and where my bread is buttered as far as that kind of stuff goes. So just making sure that I'm prepared for any situation as much as you possibly can be. That's it. So, but
I remember you told me, and we just got back from SHOT Show, and we were talking about knives. I don't know if you saw the posts that were out there. So somebody, I still haven't heard all the details yet, but basically there was a guy got attacked by another guy who had a knife.
Oh yeah.
And you had said to me, like, look, if there's a knife, you're going to get cut. Like, it's almost like a guarantee that, right? And that's basically what happened to this guy. We walked out of dinner and walked by, and by the amount of blood on the floor that I could see, and you can see in the pictures, I kind of knew that it was a knife, because it wasn't enough. It wasn't like this. It wasn't the whole. If it was a gun, the whole place would have been locked down, right?
Yeah.
You just know that. So the fact that it was a knife and you saw a lot of blood, you know, on the floor, this was more than just like, didn't get punched in the face. It wasn't just a fight. The guy's nose was bleeding and there's a couple of droplets of blood. There was enough blood on the floor that you saw, like, okay, there was something else involved in this. But it made me think of that when we talked, and it's like, look, if somebody pulls a knife, like, you have two choices. Either you're going to get cut or run. Like, just get the hell out.
Say no thank you, sir.
Right?
Back away from that.
We're done.
Yeah, the knives are, we do and teach, like, handgun disarmament, you know, ARs, how to deal with somebody, or if you're shooting an AR and someone grabs it, you know, kind of how to reposition the AR. I mean, kind of everything that we can possibly train. The knife stuff is, that is the only training that every time I'm done training with knife disarmament and things like that, where I just always go like, yeah, I'm still fucked. Still fucked. Good luck. Good luck. Hopefully, if anyone ever does pull a knife on me, I just hope that they are just
ill-equipped.
like blind in one eye or something, or they've got a fucking limp. I mean, I don't know what the deal is. I just hope that they are not great athletes or like very fast. There are things that we do, though, you know, if someone does come at you with a knife, certain ways to position your hands and your arms so you don't take cuts to, you know, the arteries and things like that. But still, like, you're just, in every situation, you're just like, you're just fucked. You're fucked. You're gonna get filleted. You know?
Right.
Yeah. If you're lucky, that's sort of all that happens.
Right.
You know, in that situation.
You know how to protect yourself enough that hopefully it's not lethal, or it's.
I've seen a lot of video where guys, you know, someone pulls a knife out and then the person that has a knife pulled on them gets up, what, and then one cut and they're just dead. Like one cut, not even multiple cuts, just one. There are a lot of videos floating out there like that, and so the knives are, I'm good.
Something to stay away from.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
So before we go any further, make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the buttons below. Click the bell so you get the notifications of when we release new content. Go to our Instagram and Facebook pages as well, and make sure you like and follow us on those, all of our socials. So we'll get into the nuts and bolts of Erik's background. We'll start with fighting experience, where what initially, I guess, got you started in fighting in general. I think wrestling was where did it start?
So I started wrestling. I was a pretty good wrestler in high school. I knew that I wasn't going to wrestle in college. I was actually an art major. So
perfect. I can see it now. Erik's in the art museum, curating.
I love art. Still paint, do all those things, and which has actually helped me out with all of my stuff down the road.
Right.
But so I was going to go to art school, but right after I think the last match I wrestled was an all-star match or something like that, and I got into Sambo. Some of my buddies were doing Sambo in Philadelphia, down off of like Frankfurt and Cottman. There was Philadelphia Sambo was right down there, and it was a small place, but they were sending a lot of guys out to compete internationally and things like that. It was like the USA team down there. Hard ass place, man. Small room. I mean, people are just getting thrown into walls and shit. The first day you go there, it's just like everyone's just trying to murder you. There's no introductory fucking classes.
There's no intro. It's here's the wolves.
It was
We're just throwing
wild.
you into the cage.
It was wild. And to make matters worse, you know, there were some of my buddies that were in there as well that were already good at Sambo. So they couldn't wait to like try to fuck you up.
Yeah.
You know. So did that for a while there, moved to Colorado for a couple of years. Came back from Colorado and then got right back into training. The Sambo school closed down, unfortunately.
Okay.
Then we started doing. There was no places really around here to train back then. There was one jiu-jitsu school, and that was in Philadelphia. That was called Maxercise. Okay. Meg Larice brothers were down there. Jared Weiner. A lot of like big names in the area came out of that one school in Philadelphia. Up here, there was nothing. So.
And what time frame? Like what?
This was back around like 1999.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah, like literally right around 98, 99, those types of things. And so you had one school. That was it. And so we found a karate school that some guys were doing jiu-jitsu in the basement of the karate school. So we started going there. We were doing Sambo. And they were doing jiu-jitsu, so we were teaching them footlocks and things like that, and they were teaching us shit like guard and basic jiu-jitsu positions. And we were a bunch of animals out of this basement.
It's Fight Club.
Yeah. Once again, no easy rounds. Everyone, it was just murder city. Wild. Everyone's just getting their asses kicked. Excuse me. And so then I started to compete in jiu-jitsu competition. So I think my first jiu-jitsu competition I ever did was in like 1999. I went right into black belt. I went and bought. I just wanted to see like what the jiu-jitsu guys had. So I bought like a fucking black belt online and did all that. Or no, I went down to like Asian World Martial Arts and I got a gi and all that. And I went down and competed and did pretty well. Took third place. And it was a pretty big tournament. I lost to, for any jiu-jitsu guys out there, I lost in the semifinals to Brian Darce, the inventor of the Darce choke. Okay. So this is back in the day. You had all of these guys that are big names now. You know, they were kind of there. So did pretty well, and then kind of continued on with that, and was doing jiu-jitsu and training and competing. Doing pretty well at all these tournaments and everything, considering the fact that we were training out of a karate school basement with no real instructor, or anything. Yeah,
no rules. Just
we had a book. We had a book on jiu-jitsu. It was literally a binder, and that's what we were training out of back then.
That was the instructor.
Yeah, that was the instructor. Yeah, and so yeah, we're looking at locks on there and all the shit. I mean, guys are wearing wrestling shoes in the books. They all had mullets, you know, like in the fucking Trapper Keeper. You know, it was some old school shit, you know, but kind of figured it out, you know, and did that for a number of years, and then so I was. At that time, I was trying to become a musician.
Okay.
So I had like a studio in my garage and all that stuff. So we'd have, you know, my other band members would come over. We were recording a lot and doing things like that. At the same time, I had a 1-year-old daughter. Okay. And I kind of had this epiphany one night. I was sitting in my dining room, and I go, I will never, ever be able to go on tour. Even if I was the 1 in a million or whatever, that made it. I have to fight for custody of my daughter. Like I can't, it's never going to happen. Right. You know, like I had to kind of be real with myself, and I had this epiphany. So I'm sitting there and I go, all right, what can I do right now that I know that I'm good at, that I could possibly make a living at? Because you know, like I said, I'm going through court. I'm doing these things already. I'm at Bucks County in Philadelphia, and it's just a fucking mess. And I go, I'll become a fighter. So that was my great epiphany.
That's the epiphany.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll become a fighter. And
well, it's probably better than American Idol. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I could see Erik on American Idol now.
You know, I had a snowball's chance in hell of becoming a fighter, and no snowball's chance of becoming, you know, a singer as far as that stuff went. So I started finding promotions and doing all that stuff, calling promoters, and I scheduled a fight. And my first fight that I had scheduled was at the House of Blues in Atlantic City.
Okay.
Which ironically, about 3 months earlier, I was there seeing a Nine Inch Nails concert.
Right.
And I go, one day I'm going to play music on that stage.
So instead
the next thing you know, I'm in a fucking cage. Yeah, on that stage, getting ready to fight. Co-main event, my very first fight. Wow. So, yeah, it was pretty wild. Got shot out of a cannon.
just right into it.
Yeah, and won that. And then, went on to have a good amateur career, pro career, a little spotty, a little up and down. I was also starting to notice at that time in my pro career, though, that I did enjoy coaching. And I did look at owning a gym one day as being the money in the bank. You know, where if my pro career didn't work out, I knew that I kind of had a knack and a propensity to help teach people and coach and things like that. So that was where that really sort of spawned from.
Yeah.
You know, I did go on to get full custody of my daughter as well. Being a single dad, that was kind of hard to do.
That is very hard to do.
Ended up becoming a pro fighter and owning a gym and all of those things.
Nice.
So, lucked out.
What do you think? Are you happy? Like, if you, let's say you could have had the gym, or you could have gone and stuck with the pro side.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you were good enough, and do you think that the gym was the right choice if you had to make that choice over again, or could have made that choice?
Well, you know, I'm always going to kind of have this piece of what could have been as far as the things go, because I know that I can fight. I can fight pretty well.
Right.
For example, I was an amateur champion. I had Comcast and Versus following me around. They were videotaping me before my first pro fight. Some of the guys like Dante Rivera, he's a real big pro fighter. He's in the UFC. He was one of my coaches and training partners. He was like, how in the hell do you have these TV stations following you around already? You know, so I was kind of coming up to be like one of the next big things, sort of, you know. And then, I don't know, I just kind of fought like a maniac, you know, like I was wild. I was just, I'd like to fight. I really didn't get nervous, but I just was not measured, and kind of like if I didn't beat people in the first round, I would end up getting gassed out, and then I would lose to guys that I had no business losing to.
Right.
So on paper, I was a better fighter than most of the people that I had lost to, as far as that went. So I wish I would have had myself as a coach to be like, settle down, you fucking maniac, you know, when you're in there, and use your jab, you know, everything that I tell all my fighters and stuff like that. So, but, you know, down the road, I also became one of the USA coaches for Sambo and combat Sambo and things like that. So I was able to kind of get back into Sambo through the gym.
Okay.
And so not only did I have the opportunity to coach on the United States team, the US guys, but I was able to fight as well. So right before COVID, I fought on the USA team in Dominican Republic at the Pan American Championships, did really well down there. So I still get to kind of fight now, and I'm a better fighter at this stage, which is I'm almost 50 years old, you know, which is kind of weird, but I don't know. So it's wild. I like to compete and get after it, and you know, every day.
That's awesome. So lessons learned, like things that if you went back in time and could tell yourself, like, what are those? Like, there's always those things that you say, like, hey, like you just said, right?
Yeah,
It's like, look, slow down, take a breath. This isn't, I don't need to knock him out in the first round type of thing.
Yeah. You know,
go ahead.
Yeah, there's, you know, I'm learning lessons every day. Some of them I seek some of them, life is doing a good job of,
instilling on you.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely where weight cutting is now in the sport, it's so much more scientific. Back when I used to cut weight as a wrestler, I mean, we were literally killing ourselves.
Right.
And I mean, and the weight cuts now, even done scientifically, are dangerous and tough. However, they recover much better than we recovered because we were just starving ourselves and not drinking anything. And that was definitely some of the stuff that affected me in later rounds of fights when I was really feeling the weight cuts. So the way that we have guys cut now with water loading and all of these things, and we have the nutritionists, and that's a huge part of it, really. For a pressure fighter like myself, a guy that like to go in there and push the pace and just get on guys right away, being able to recover later in rounds or in between rounds, that would have helped me tremendously. As far as that goes, But also, back then we just kind of didn't know what we were doing in training wise as well too. I trained so much more efficiently these days. Like when I was competing, even like in 2019 and things like that, I would get in the gym, do what I had to do. I would get the most peak efficient workouts in the smallest amount of time I could, and then I would get out of the gym. Where younger me was basically living in the gym, sort of doing non-efficient workouts by myself. My personal trainer I had at the time, he was one of the best personal trainers I believe on the planet. So everything I did with him was absolutely amazing.
Spot on.
Yeah. That was like the only good part of my of my training camp was my trainer, because he had his shit together. He trains Jaron Boots Ennis right now, who's boxing world champion. My coach, he now lives in France, so Jaron Boots Ennis flies him out for his training camps and things like that. He's that good. Yeah. He's absolutely fantastic. But that was about the only thing that I kind of had going right for me.
I'm curious, so when you're training somebody, what do you see or what do you look for that tells you that that's going to be a guy that could really has the potential? Like, is there something specific that you kind of see, like this guy might just have what it takes?
There's not necessarily something specific, because MMA, you need to be well-rounded, You don't have to be great at any one particular thing. There is a lot of, obviously, like mental toughness and things like that, being able to sort of take a hit. I see a lot of very talented people coming to the gym. However, it's the longevity of training, because you're going to be an amateur for years. And you have to actually train maybe for years to even become an amateur. So then you're going to be in the amateur circuit for years. So you're training full-time while you're working a job. Some of these guys, a full-time job, or you have kids and things like that. A lot of guys just eventually get burned out. I know plenty of people that probably could have been like world champions that eventually they just get burned out and life kind of takes over. So really, women and longevity, those are like the killing factors in most good fighters. A lot of guys, they're living in the gym, they're single or whatever, they're going around doing their thing, and then boom, they get their girlfriend, and that's a wife, and now there's some kids. And women have killed more careers than ACL injuries, neck injuries, anything like that. And more power to the guys, because realistically, to make a living and to make a lot of money in MMA, enough money to sustain yourself and not get brain damage and things like that, yeah, go with the ladies. The ladies are kind of probably saving most of these guys.
It's really a safer road most of the time. It's a safer road.
Yeah, I've seen a couple times where not so much, but
depends on the woman.
Yeah. Gets a little. Every time we've got this really good fighter, and then he's like, "Oh, I got a girlfriend." I'm like, "Oh shit,
this might be the end."
I'm like, "Well, that's good for you though." But
so you said that your first match. What's like kind of one of your most memorable matches that you?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story about the first fight. I'd never even been in an MMA cage before, and I should have known something was up when I'm the co-main event,
Right.
And so I never even saw the guy that I was going to fight. I didn't care. I was like, fucking throw anyone in there. I don't give a fuck. Like, let's just fight, right?
I'm ready.
Yeah, so I've got all my friends and family there, and it was pretty cool. And so I didn't see the guy that I was going to fight until literally I go out first in the cage, and he comes in. And the fucking guy was giant. Giant. Big, ripped, muscular guy. Big Brazilian. And I'm fighting at 205 pounds. So I'm fighting a weight class up as well, too. So the guy was fucking huge. Bell rings, boom, I go right at him. I run him over, beat him, unanimous decision. And after the fight, you know, and basically I was the guy that kind of beat David versus Goliath. And that, you know, so everyone, you know, it's my first fight. It couldn't have been a cooler story, right? So I'm downstairs at the Showboat at the bar, drinking, you know, getting it on after the fight. I don't know if how familiar you are with like UFC and stuff, but there's a referee. His name's Keith Peterson.
Okay.
He's like one of the biggest refs in the game. And well, at that time he fought the main event. He was on the main event fighting, so he was fighting for a championship. So him and I, we're downstairs and we're drinking, and he's like a little shorter, but he's got this like deep voice, and he's like, "Hey Eric, you know that guy that you fought?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "That wasn't even his real name." He's like, "They set you up." He goes, "They said he was 0-0." He goes, "That guy's from Brazil. He's got like 20 fights." He goes, "They sent you in there to get your ass kicked." I was like, son of a bitch. So my first fight that I ever had was literally a situation like that. So the guy had a fake name, and so he went on to actually be in the UFC and everything.
Okay.
So he was a really good fighter. He fought in Bellator and the UFC under his real name. Yeah, fucking Jay Silva. I think Jay Silva was his real name.
Okay.
Yeah, so he went on to fight in the UFC and Bellator and things like that. But I had a few wild fights that were a lot of fun, you know, for sure. But
the first one was more of a Jake Paul.
First one was kind of wild.
Just a little. I had no idea what you thought you were going in and fighting an elderly.
Shit, someone on my level, you know,
Somebody comes
giant. And my dad after the fight goes, "We saw that guy walking through the crowd," and he goes, "I'd hate to be the guy fighting that fucking guy." And the next thing you know, he walks out.
The guy
yeah. Cool, man. My dad's sitting out there going, "Holy shit!" My dad's got like 2 drinks in his hands. He's just like, "Fuck!" And then, but I'm running over. I'm picking that guy up, slamming him, just ran him over. You know?
What do you attribute? Just that.
I know I was a nut. You know, like I had I was one of those guys where. Growing up, I had to street fight a lot. I grew up in pretty bad neighborhoods and grew up kind of sort of had to raise myself a little bit. And I never started to fight my entire life. But I was always kind of like, hey, you get one punch to try to knock me out. You don't knock me out, you're going to be on your ass, you know, and then I'm going to be on top of you beating the shit out of you. That was kind of where I was at. So when that bell rang, I came right out and just... Yeah, the guy was trying to like Superman punch me. He was trying to knock my face off, you know. And no, I just put him on his ass the whole time, you know, and put him up against the fence and beat him up. But I've never been afraid to just go and get on somebody like that, you know. And even to this day, you know, I like to teach pressure, you know, more intelligent pressure than I had, you know, not just. Bell rings, woo, right? You know, but yeah, I mean, if you look at most of the fighters these days, at least the championship fighters, almost all of them are all pressure fighters. They all move forward. They never back up, you know. And then it just kind of comes down to who's going to let the other person bully you, you know, and things like that. But I've just always kind of naturally had that gear in me, you know. It's just to go. And I saw my dad fight as a kid, and that's how my dad fought. I've seen my dad messing fucking people up. Yeah, he was a very good wrestler and things like that. A very good athlete, and I don't know, maybe I kind of channeled a little bit of Pops
that
some
day.
Of these fights. Yeah, who knows, you know. But
so we went on, ended the career. I guess you decided and you wanted to go into the having your own gym. How was that? How did that transition? How was that transition? I guess.
So I had the gym open, and then I had a fight, and I fought in Atlantic at the Borgata. I fought for CFFC. It was just so much, It was so hard to juggle home life, the wants and the needs of all your members, the gym, and then go and fight. I just didn't have the infrastructure set up at that point. I had too much stress and pressure on me with having a new business as well, that it was just so stressful. The whole situation was just so stressful. So after that fight, I kind of made the decision like, hey, I need to make sure this gym's successful first. When you're fighting, I guess everyone reacts differently when they're fighters. When you're coming up, everything's tough, because you're working full time and doing things like that. But you really want to have all your ducks in a row. Like, you don't want to be stressing about bills and stressing about just routine, mundane life shit. When you're cutting weight and you're about to go out and step in a cage with somebody that just is trying to kill you. I mean, that's what's happening. It's not really a competition. I mean, it's like a fucking...
I need to kill this guy.
Yeah, they're trying to kill you. They're trying to kick your face off, or, smash the bones in your face and break your arms and things like that. It's serious, it's real serious stuff. So, so I had to get the gym going and to do all that. And then we got really heavy into coaching because we just started developing fighters. And then that just really kind of took over. We're every weekend. I mean, we're at fights, jiu-jitsu competitions, things like that. And it's been a lot of fun.
Probably a little safer.
Well, I had to learn how to artfully get beat up in the gym and not get hurt. Because you're dealing with all these fighters and, and you're letting people kind of sort of work,
Yeah.
And so that actually probably made me a better fighter as well, because then I got used to really getting in there and my defense got really good from actually being a coach as well. So, but it's tough. It's tough on the body. You've got to, I sauna all the time and massages all the time and try to take care of yourself as much as you possibly can. But it's rough. Luckily, I don't know, I'm just part like Neanderthal or something like that. I'm just fucking Frodo Baggins over here, I can kind of take the punishment and all of that and feel really good. And even I forget how old I am. I might be like 48 at this point. I think I'm 48. So
some number.
Yeah, I'm doing this about like 7 hours a day, 6-7 hours a day for the most part, and feel great.
Nice.
Yeah, body feels young.
Good. And so, NPR was not the first gym.
It was.
It was. Okay. So.
Yep. So we opened NPR in Fairless Hills in late 2010.
Okay.
And that space was around like a 3,000 square foot space, and we started doing really well after a while. And then I'm like, this was kind of pre-big gym days.
Okay.
People had like little dojos and that kind of stuff. So we opened right off the bat. The first gym we opened was like 3,500 square feet, which was very big at the time. So that was a pretty big undertaking as far as I didn't have a clientele or anything besides being a local fighter and that kind of stuff. So,
and when you say a gym, just how, because I was at the newer facility, so there was half gym and then half kind of the fighting. So, because when you hear gym, like you think, oh, there's just weights and so forth, not a ring and not the MMA side of things.
It was a constant evolution. So we started off we had like a little running track in there, sleds, heavy bags, a moderate mat space. Then we had weight training equipment, things like that. As we had more and more members sign up, we had to keep making the mat space bigger. Then we had a boxing ring. Then we kind of made like cage panels, and we got rid of more of the exercise equipment because we just needed mat space.
Gotcha.
So I started looking at the gym as far as like I need to maximize like every square foot of this place. Like every square foot's got to be sort of like making money. It's got to be able to be able to hold somebody on the mats, essentially. So kind of reached the point where it's got all my loans paid off and everything, and I took a deep breath and I go, fuck, we need a bigger gym. Our lease was about up, and I go, all right, let's go even bigger. So we went to around 8,000 square feet. So I kind of look at that as almost sort of like starting over because of the scale that we went to. And that was kind of the same thing. So we had a big weight training area. We brought in even more weights and all of that. But then we had just giant mat spaces, MMA cage, boxing ring, all of that kind of stuff. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, the gym was beautiful. Just it was nice because we had windows everywhere, and we had an outside training area, and that kept evolving as well. We kept refining the layout.
What was the mix of members? Like, was it mainly people that were training MMA, and then they'd use the gym as their training for weight, or was it some people were just there for the gym piece?
Most of the people were there for the martial arts.
Okay.
They would trickle into the weight room and use the weight room every once in a while. We would have some personal trainers as well that would come in and use the weight room. But for the most part, our martial arts people, we had a couple people that were dedicated to lifting and training, but a lot of people would come in. It would almost just became more of a selling point. They would come in, they would sign up, they would use the weights a couple times, and then they would just spend all their time on doing fucking jiu-jitsu and everything.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of this situation with the gym where, with the weight training area, where, I was always trying to figure out a way to get it a little busier in there, to utilize that space a little bit better, but it really just became more of a selling point than anything else. People would walk in, they would see this big weight training area and versatile area, and then they would go, oh wow, I get that too, and it's like, yeah, come on in, man, get it all.
When did you start doing, which ties into everything that we talk about, like the self-defense, when did that become part of kind of the mix of training and coaching, teaching those type of things? Was that later? Was that from the very beginning?
So it kind of started more in the beginning. So I met this guy, Bob Clark, and Bob Clark he's had so many different titles over the years, but I mean, he was in the FBI to Philly SWAT he's under the district attorney for Pennsylvania, everything.
Yeah. And
he's a big-time Sambo guy, but this was a guy, he was heavy military, knows his shit. A lot of the times when you see like news camera footage of Philadelphia, this big drug bust and this and that, you'll always see him in the background. And so he's a real deal guy from the streets. He's this older guy, big white beard. He knows all the gang signs. He can flash everything. He goes through the city. Like he's hardcore. To me, he's like the real John Wick as far as that.
Right.
And I won't go into detail with all the things this guy's done, but pretty wild. So traveled around the world with him. He was heavy into Sambo. He's actually the USA Sambo coach now.
Okay.
And huge ambassador for the sports. But we would always start playing around with and he actually really knew all the combat stuff. So he's the one who taught me like everything that I know. And then so we would just actively train that stuff. And then we started doing seminars. Then we started working with the Army occasionally, but really he's Bob Clark specifically has been my mentor. Most of us my friends that we've all trained together. There's a few of us. There's like this small group. We would do all the CQB training and everything like that. Bob Clark, as far as the weapons and just general conversations about safety and car safety. I mean everything. I run everything through Bob. Everything. He's one of those guys where nothing's ever flashy. It's real deal street stuff. It's very well thought out as far as scenario based stuff. Because if you get into, you probably heard of like Krav Maga and things like that, and and a lot of that stuff, it's a system. So a lot of it's very good, but some of the stuff gets a little wild.
When you get into the real world.
Yeah, like if someone comes at you with a knife, you don't one hand their hand and then punch them in the face with the other hand. You better get two hands on that thing, you know? Just stuff like that. Right. So what we did in the systems that we developed were very meat and potatoes. And we developed entire systems for the police departments and everything like that as well. So some of the training that we came up with out of NPR is taught right now through the state police and all the handbooks and things. And that's something I'm pretty proud of as far as that goes. And then our work with the Army was a lot of fun and things like that as well.
And that was just training, same things, the self-defense.
Yeah, like all just close quarters.
Close quarters.
Yeah, nothing. No, well, some of the stuff was a little firearm related, you know, as far as disarmament and things like that go. Most of the stuff that we would do weapons related were all disarmament, you know, and just kind of keeping yourself safe as you know, in that perspective. But yeah, we've had some really cool seminars and yeah, working with the Army was a lot of fun. Funny story about Bob. I don't even know if I should say this on camera. I mean, not like it really
We'll always edit it out later, right? Sure.
Yeah. So we go to Fort Dix, and all the guys they're bringing us, you know, they're bringing us on. So initially we had them at NPR training, and then we're like, all right, we need to go to Fort Dix, and we've got, you know, they've got a large kind of troop out there. They're getting ready to go off on a mission to Africa, and they all need to get up to speed on things. So it's myself, Bob Clark, and one of my best friends, this guy Johnson Jejute. And he's actually, Johnson Jejute was a pro fighter, undefeated boxer, and he's the most winningest USA combat Sambo athlete of all time. He's a real gun nut. He's the guy that I need to bring here, Johnson. But so we're sitting at the intake sort of office, you know, where you do your paperwork, they do your background checks to put you through and make sure you're good
to get you on the base.
Yep. So I go first, and you know, you get to fill out your paperwork, and they get on the phone, they do the background check, then you take a picture, and then you go through. They do that to me, they do that to my buddy Johnson, and then we're waiting for Bob's paperwork to go through. And the guy behind the desk, he's on the phone, and he goes, "Yeah, Bob Clark," and he's like nodding, and we're looking at him, and then he looks over at the person next to him, and he goes, "Shred his paperwork." So we look over Bob, we're like, what the fuck does that mean? Shred your paperwork. Like, what? And they're like, just go through, you're fine. So the whole time, yeah, so now we're in a Hummer driving to where we're going. We're like, what the fuck does that mean, Bob? Shred your paperwork? You know?
I was never here.
Yeah.
I was never here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just kind of give you a little background on Bob Clark there. Amazing guy. But yeah, we love all the weapons stuff. And like I said, you know, we're all fighters, but at the same time, we understand the importance of home self-defense, or, you know, just personal self-defense and firearms and things like that. A lot of people don't know that, they don't understand. They think that just having a firearm in your house, someone breaks in, you just start firing rounds off. Okay, well, do you live in an apartment? Are you firing into the apartment next to you? Do you know how to take a safe shot? Do you know how to earn your shot? Do you know where the kill funnels are in your house? There's so many variables that go into really understanding firearms as just a civilian, let alone, you know, somebody that can carry firearms for their job. Right. So once we started to learn that, we had this whole entire wipeout mentality of, wow, like we thought we knew, but there's a whole world out there that we don't know what the fuck we're doing. And so we started bringing in to old NPR. We were bringing in guys that were doing all the CQB training for the Marines and military. Some of the guys, they work for the U.S. embassies in other countries. And this is kind of what they did. There were two guys in particular, and we would set up, in the first NPR, we had all these rooms. We would turn off the lights at night. It's like over 8,000 square feet. And they would run us in stacks and teams. It gave us an opportunity to use different, you know, size ARs, different weapons for different things. And we'd have guys hiding with knives and shit, you know. So you're walking through, you're in this stack, and dude jumps out and shanks you right in the neck, and you're just like, fuck, I died, you know. Right. And, but that really kind of took over as we were so intrigued by it, and there was just so much to learn, and we still have so much to learn anyways. But so when COVID was going on, we basically turned the gym into an entire training center, and got really heavy into all of these things and learning about them, because you think you know, but you don't know until you're in there with these guys that this is what they do, you know. And it's a fascinating world. It's very cool.
Yeah, we had one of the podcasts we were talking, and because I do a lot of the long range shooting.
Yeah.
Right. And we're sitting there talking. The first match that I ever did, the guys had to pick up a Glock, so we couldn't, because of the rules of PRS, we can't score you on anything but your bolt action or your gas gun, whatever you're shooting in the competition. But I can do a time burner, right? So I can time the stage, and I can make you have to hit this target potentially, or you could just shoot the entire mag out, which some guys, because they couldn't hit at 15 yards, they couldn't hit an IPSC, full-size IPSC at 15 yards, couldn't hit it. So they would just dump the mag, like 10 rounds, because you had to hit it, I think, 3 times. So basically it was a time burner. But it was amazing to me how many people never either, these are guys that shoot very frequently, and some of these guys are good long-range shooters. But you put a Glock or you put a handgun in their hands, and you say, hey, shoot this full-size target at 15 yards away, and they could not put a round on it. Right? I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, and vice versa. Like I was more into handguns and things like that, just because I didn't really have access to too many long ranges. Where you and I have had multiple conversations. I probably talked your ear off just asking questions about how do you sight this, how do you do that, how do you count for this, and what's going on. It's so intriguing. There's so much to learn. It really is just all the firearms, all the shooting. It's just a whole other world. We were training SWAT guys from Jersey and everywhere, and they do like a lot of competitions where all time target based and things like that. And I'd watch all their videos, ask them questions, and one of the guys, I was training his sons and everything like that. So he has this fucking SWAT truck, and he goes, "Oh, you want to see something cool?" And I'm like, "Is it gonna freak out everyone else, all the other business owners in this complex?" He's like, "It might." I'm like, "All right, let's go."
Let's do it.
Take me out to the truck, open up the back, and it's just fucking like a tactical warehouse, and you're like, "What's that? Oh, what do you do with that? When do you use that?" And it's amazing. It's amazing stuff, and it really is. It's such a deep world of not only things you can do as a hobbyist, but things you can do to really protect yourself in war. It goes from very innocent, fun things, to taking your daughter out to shoot a 22 in the backyard, to tactical strikes.
Well, that was the whole reason that I started training with you, was just because it's just a massive world, right? Yeah. It's just so much you never want to stop learning. And you can be good with a pistol, you can be good with an AR, but they're still hand to hand. Like, what if you don't have that on you, or what if it's disarmed, or whatever situations occur? You need to be ready in multiple different situations from a self-defense standpoint, right? That you don't know what you're going to encounter at any given time and what you might have on you at that particular time. So being good and proficient in one thing might not be the...
Hey, trying to stay in shape, and making sure you can run and do things like that if need be. There are a couple guys that I know, but I watched their videos and things like that, some of the old Special Forces guys, and they run camps, teach people how to shoot, take them off to, I forget which states they go to, but they have them do like 50 burpees and shit and then try to shoot, and it's a fucking train wreck, so there's that aspect of it too, You always see, like, there was this one range I used to go to around here, and get a little wild in there, but I'll never forget, there's always some giant, super overweight dude firing off a Desert fucking Eagle right next to your head, and you're just like, he was like, "Someone breaks into my house, fine, they get this," and you're just like, good luck with that, sir. Good luck with that. You see the recoil, the guy's like, bah, bah. You might get the first shot off. I don't know about the second and third, though, But But you learn all these different aspects to all this with your calibers, you know, and getting off the second and third shots and things like that, or 21-foot rule, and you learn all of these things that are just vitally important for your safety. A lot of people, I think the problem that a lot of people, and we'll just say, you know, first world countries that they have, is they have this illusion of safety, and they don't understand that, you know, someone could be across the room, they could run over and stab you before you even get your firearm out.
Yeah.
You know,
for most people that don't train or practice or ever.
Yeah, totally. You know, so all these people where, you know, it's prevalent when you see videos of police, and they're like, why didn't you just shoot him in the leg or something like, it's like, you don't understand the situation.
Right. You've probably never shot a gun if you've ever said, like, why didn't you just shoot him in the leg? Like, you immediately know if a reporter ever says that, you're like, oh, you've never shot a firearm before in your life.
Yeah. There's just an ignorance to it, and I don't mean ignorance like, you know, just a nastiness or whatever, but they just don't know. They don't understand. They don't understand safety. It's just like how every guy walking around, you know, not every guy, but a lot of guys out there feel like they can really fight, you know? And you don't realize that you don't know how to fight until you start to learn how to fight. Like when I train guys, like one of the questions, I had a guy recently in the gym, this guy Matt, awesome guy, you know, the stock portfolios and everything like that. And he was a good athlete in college and high school, but I've been training him for about a year now, and I go, how bad would you kick your ass from a year ago? You know, knowing what you know now. And he's like, I was just thinking about that, you know, and here's a big guy, big tough guy, but same way I was with firearms, you know. I had a firearm for a long time, gun, oh, okay, yeah, cool, I'm safe. And then once I started really getting around guys that are proficient with understanding the tactical training and things like that, I just realized, I'm like, yeah, I have to learn this stuff. I'm like, I don't know shit. I could hurt somebody or myself. Yeah. You know, because of just because I've got my gun permit. You know, it's serious. You know, and taking care of your family and all of these things. Absolutely. You know, so many things you just never even think about, unless someone points them out to you. Right. Know? So.
Yeah, we were just talking so we had Tom from Tanner's up on, and
it was a great interview. By the way,
being able to draw, you know, that there's so few places to even be able to practice some of this stuff. Yeah. is an unfortunate, you know, thing that happens, that there's no place that allows you to draw from a holster. So you're like, well, how do I, how fast, how can I get more proficient at drawing from a holster if I can't go to a place and practice drawing from a holster?
So we used to do training courses at my old gym, where what we would do is we'd have people come in. I'd usually do small groups, like 3 to 5 people. Mm-hmm. We would have them bring their firearm in, no ammo or anything like that. I'd have, you know, 9mm, like little laser, borehole lasers or whatever, and different holsters, and teach them about different holsters, teach them how to take their firearms apart, how to put them together, how to actually draw different stances, whether you're standing isosceles or whatever. Right. How to walk with your firearm, teach them things like 21-foot rule and all this stuff, but just teach them how to draw with the laser, how to get it up to the point. And teach them that they can practice this stuff at home, you know? Really, as long as they have just some kind of borehole laser or something like that, they can at least work on their pull, bringing it up. So, you know, your wife might not like it too much, but even in your house, you can practice a lot of these components to fluency, and efficiency as far as your self-defense goes. Like, I taught myself how to shoot off my hip with my 9mm, just with borehole lasers, because realistically, if someone was close to me and I had to kind of put my hand out to keep them away, I'm not bringing it all the way up. There's no way that's happening, you know? So I was teaching myself how to shoot right off my hip and how to bring it up. But so I highly recommend to people out there that have a handgun at least. You know, get the little lasers, get them on Amazon. You know, they're not totally accurate, but close enough.
Well, we were just out at SHOT Show, and so we're working with the NRA on their new NRA challenge. and we're going to be a sponsor of that. But Mantis makes a really cool system. So we got a chance to, we're going to be posting a video that we did of using, it was on an AR platform, but I believe they have it for all for a pistol, for AR, so forth, and you use a camera and it basically will track your shot, like so you can literally shoot, and it actually cycles the firearm for you as well. So it's you can use it just like live practice, but you're not shooting anything, right? So
hey Mantis, you can send that one to Encoded MMA if you'd like to. And that's what people need,
right?
You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You need something, because if you're not able to do the training and live fire training, and I tell this to people all the time that practice bolt action, like we have dry fire. The year I did my best was the year, like I came in every morning into the office and I would do dry fire training for half an hour. Yeah. Like you can't believe how well, even if you're not shooting live ammunition, how improved I became doing dry fire.
Yeah.
Just 30 minutes every day, just going, I forget what the name of the system is, it's a dry fire system, and basically you put this cap over the top of your scope so you can put this this target system basically out. Now, you can't see what you hit or anything, but it's basically, it's like 7 feet out, you put this target, and you can look through your scope, and you can adjust your parallax and everything, you can adjust the scope and basically shoot at it from positional. So I had a little barricade that I designed and put together, and basically would just shoot off of that, and just went through every day and just became more and more stable. That natural point of aim, acquiring the target, all those things that we do.
Breathing.
Yeah, all those things was, and you would, if you can't shoot live, dry firing, if you can do it, is definitely a way to practice.
Yeah. I got really big into all of the guys that I knew were doing competition shooting with handgun. All of them are saying, like, look, you need a red dot. Everyone puts a red dot on their gun. And so for a long time, I had my red dot on all my firearms. Mm-hmm. And so then I would put the higher sights on, the higher iron sights.
Oh, right. Yeah,
you know,
so you can co-witness.
Yep, just in case, you know, my battery went dead in the red dot, because I'm notorious for batteries going fucking dead and shit. But then I would go out to my property, and I'm like, you know what, the red dot, it's a little big for like my everyday carry. And I was just, I'm gonna use the wrong term, I'm gonna say murder and shit, like targets, I'm talking targets, with just my iron sights. And I mean, just dead on. I'm talking hitting, you know, this from, you know, like 15 yards, you know, just bring it up. I mean, not missing a shot. So I kind of got to the point where training with my iron sights where I'm like, all right, for my handgun, I'm just going to go iron sights and just get real good with that, you know, but on the ARs and everything like that I have, then it's all, you know, red dots and fucking laser beams and
all the cool stuff that we put onto our
all the fun
cool
stuff.
Accessories.
Yeah, if your AR doesn't have fucking laser beams on it, like, what are we doing? You know, you gotta fucking go to town on that thing.
I definitely, well, my treat purchase is going to be a set of nods. I told my one friend, I said, look, if you see a nice used set coming out, like, I so want, not that I really need it, but it's fun. Like, occasionally we have to go have some fun.
Yeah, 100%. You know, so out on my property on the ranch, so it's like 60 acres up in the Smoky Mountains. And so I've got like thermal night vision. So when I first moved out there, we would have people that were trying to break into the property and steal things like that. So for a while, I was just surveying. My girlfriend or whatever, go to sleep, and then I would just go walk out there just with thermal, just I don't know, ready to get people off the property if I had to. And but then I started having my you know, the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I started having my Predator moments where there's so much fog that the thermal doesn't work in the fog. So I kind of had to start learning that the hard way. I'm like, wow, well, this isn't that great for the Smoky Mountains, you know, at least. So then I was going to look at maybe doing the nods. Then I'm like, shit, I might have the same problem in the fog.
Yeah.
So then I was going to go to an IR lighting system. I was thinking about getting these IR solar lights and putting them up in post.
Oh, yeah.
And then that way I could just IR, I could light the whole property up. It would be lit up.
That they couldn't see. Yeah,
every night. Yeah, it would just be lit up. Yeah, so someone comes out on the ranch to break into something, they have no idea that the whole place is lit up, you know?
If you run into Erik in his tighty whities on his ranch, I would just recommend running.
If I have to shoot you, I'm shooting you naked. I'm not even putting tighty whities on. That's how that's going out. We're getting all Tennessee'd up in that. But now you think when you're thinking safety and you have, like I look at my property like I look at my house.
Yeah.
And I look at entry points where someone's going to break in at, what would I do? And then as far as things like that go, and then I look at, okay, where's my cabin located? What are entry points on the land for people to get on? Because they've gotten on them before, you know, and stolen things and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I kind of have everything eyeballed out and all that kind of stuff. But I've got a few more little tricks on the land, but I won't divulge any of those, you know.
The one thing I did want to talk about, so... because I saw you had made a post at one time about your members during COVID.
Yeah.
Do you remember that post? Just about the support to the gym. I don't know if you want to just...
Yeah, I'd love to kind of give that sort of like a little shout out, you know. Obviously, COVID was wild for everybody, every business owner. I mean, every person, employee, business owner, you name it, whatever. Everyone was affected by it.
Yeah.
Specifically, the fitness industry. I'm kind of sitting there going, I have an 8,000 square foot gym. You know, I've got hundreds of members. We'd have thousands of people walk through there a week, from parents to everybody. Will this ever open back up? Will there ever be a gym again, you know, not just even ours? So you're kind of having all of these things go through your head, and I can't take care of I don't have enough money to take care of my employees. I mean, it's just totally unprepared for a situation like that.
Right.
The overhead and everything, you know. And then of course you get the message from the landlords. They're like, yeah, rent's still due on the 1st. So
yeah, figure out how that's going to work.
It is what it is.
Yep.
I didn't ask. I didn't say anything about it. Obviously, we would shoot videos in there all the time because we were still in there. The fighters were still coming in because we're like, all right, if this kicks back up, I mean, everyone has to sort of stay in shape. So we had a protocol for that, but so many people were keeping their memberships open, and they're not cheap, you know, and especially these people that have their own families. They're all out of work as well. Everyone is being massively affected by all of this. The fact that we had people keep their memberships open as long as they did through COVID, for everyone that did that. I mean, and I put that video out to say thank you.
Yeah, because, to everybody.
And say thank you again for forever. I mean, I would have lost my house. I would have lost everything that I had. And
yeah, it's phenomenal.
I actually even had a few people come in. Like there's this guy, Joshua Hogan, that is, I believe he's running for some different sort of political seats. I'm not sure if he's still doing it or not, but like some people came in and started memberships with no intention on even training.
Just to support.
To help.
Yeah.
You know? That was kind of the stuff that really got us. I mean, we'd done a lot of stuff for the community through NPR, and we've had a real big community and family environment and stuff. But I wasn't mad at anyone that had to cancel their membership or anything. I totally understood. So anyone that called and said, "Hey, man, we got to cancel," 100%, stay safe. But for everyone that kept it open, I mean, it was, you know. We didn't forget about that, and we tried to do everything we could for the community and friends and family. And so recently when I put that video out was kind of when I was going through sort of the idea of opening up a new gym. Right. Because I had all these people reaching out to me saying, hey, like, because we'd sold NPR, sort of sold it.
It's a whole other podcast.
Yeah. That lawyer sitting next to me sort of sold the gym. But while all that was kind of going down, I've had so many people reach out to me, and then like you and I were training. I started training a lot of people, doing private training, and it just kind of never stopped. And as a matter of fact, it was, I felt like there was this voice kind of getting louder to have something similar to what we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize I knew people enjoyed that, you know, but the fact, I was kind of really moved by the fact that people still cared about myself, really, you know, and the brand that we built for such a long time. And so that's where I really started to kick around the idea of open up the new facility, open up the new gym. I want to do it differently. I wanted to kind of make it better, more streamlined, take how many years of experience? 15 years of experience I had as a gym owner. It's one of the biggest gym owners or gyms around. I wanted to put out an enjoyable, newer version of
2.0.
Yeah, of what we can do. And so I'm sitting around. I might have had a drink or two on me that night I put that video out. You know, might have had a little scotch in me, but like I said, that's how I kind of keep my edge sometimes, you know. And all of these, I don't know, just all these years of experience and this entire community that we built, and over the years, all the cool things that we've gotten to do with martial arts, it's something that I never intended on stopping. Even after selling the gym, I was going to open up a gym down in Tennessee. I would train myself regardless until I die. I plan on being on the mats. But now we've got this new gym that's getting ready to come up and running, and it's really the first MMA gym in this area that is built and based around mixed martial arts, not just built around a jiu-jitsu program that does MMA or built around Muay Thai that throws some MMA in. Like everything that we do is built around MMA. And this is the time I feel like to do it with the popularity of mixed martial arts. When I first fought, half my family, they thought I was a fucking caveman asshole for going in and fighting in the cage. You know, there was still this
stigma.
You know, situation with it. Now it's everyone knows UFC. You know? So
maybe part and thanks to Dana White and
and
now.
So I had a conversation with Dana White one time. So we were down at I was cornering Pat Sabatini, like local MMA hero around here from Bristol. Amazing guy, amazing fighter. He's still in the UFC. And he had this fight. We were fighting at the Apex. So it was during COVID and everything was closed down. And Pat gets dropped first round. He's fighting a really good guy. Gets dropped, but the guy jumps on top of him. Well, Pat is a submission specialist. The guy jumps on him, and he's trying to ground and pound him. Well, Pat eventually heel hooks the guy and rips the whole guy's knee out. It was wild. So right when you're done fighting in the UFC, immediately they take you to a photo area and take pictures of you, the winners.
Gotcha.
So right away, like he's not even dressed yet after the fight. We walk right out of the cage and they go set you up with the photographer. And right as we're taking pictures, I'm sitting there holding all of the stuff. This guy comes out from the back and he goes, "Hey, Pat Sabatini, Dana White wants to see you." And we're both kind of like, is this good or is it bad?
what did we do? Are we being called to the principal's office?
Yeah, we're like, it's probably good because he won, you know. And Pat's a real nice guy. He doesn't do anything dumb or anything like that outside of the cage or anything. And so we're getting dressed and we're walking back through the Apex and we're passing like really nice cars, like a garage. So they must have been like all Dana White's cars and all this stuff. Actually, it was funny. The Apex reminds me of this place. You're going down all these kind of hallways and tunnels and you're just passing all this like pretty cool shit, you know? And so we get to this room and sort of knock and just Dana White opens the door and he's got this big like lounge area where he's sitting back there watching TV with two other people. He's watching the fights. And he's like, Pat Sabatini, that was amazing. We're like, oh, all right, cool.
Cool,
right?
This is good.
Yeah, so we're back there hanging out with him. So there's only like 5 of us. And I kind of took the opportunity where I was just like, hey, because the UFC was the only sport going during COVID.
Right.
It was it, you know? So I just said, hey, I just want to thank you so much for letting these fighters, giving them a platform to fight on during all this, man. I really appreciate it. And I won't say who he named, but he goes, yeah, and you know what's blah, blah, blah. One of the owners from the NFL, you know, he's making everyone get, you know, all
Testing.
these COVID tests or else they're kicking him off the team. He's like, fuck all that. You know, I'll never do that. He was just the coolest guy. I've met him a couple times. Just the nicest guy. But yeah, that was kind of like our COVID moment through all of this. Cooler COVID moment as a coach was, you know, during COVID, there were no sports going on anywhere besides UFC. That's it. The first indoor sporting event that they had that had a crowd in an arena was UFC Jacksonville.
Okay.
And we got to fight on that card. So walking out of the fucking tunnel in Jacksonville for the first event that after or sort of during COVID where there was an arena, the place was absolutely insane. So we got to fight on that card as well with Pat. I didn't fight. I coached. But that was probably one of the most amazing events, that and like Madison Square Garden, stuff like that, you know, walking out of the tunnel at like MSG or like,
that's awesome.
What? Like what? But the Jacksonville energy in Madison Square Garden was just, I don't know. I get like butterflies. Just, I thought I wanted to fight. I was getting ready to run through the crowd, rip my fucking shirt off. Like,
Eric's he's all geared up.
I was geared up.
Just give me somebody. Pick somebody from the audience. I'll take anybody.
There's a video of me walking out in Jacksonville, and I'm like swinging a towel around. I'm like, I watched it back. I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, you're not even fighting. Come on now. It's good times, though.
So, the Encoded MMA is the new gym.
Yes.
That's in Langhorne now?
Fairless Hills.
Fairless Hills, okay.
Like,
it's in,
right on the border. Right near like the Oxford Valley Mall, Sesame Place, and all of those things.
And planning to be open?
Hopefully by March 1st.
Okay. So the goal is March 1st
Goal is March 1st. So we're selling pre-registration right now. So you also get a Fusion membership. So we're located inside a Fusion gym in Fairless Hills. And if you've ever seen Fusion Gym, they're pretty wild. They're cool. It's got everything. So everyone that pre-registers, they also get a Fusion membership. So they can start using Fusion Gym right now.
Okay.
We have an MMA cage, boxing ring, whole heavy bag area, everything right now. We're just not running the classes and we don't have the mats. Okay. So anyone that wants to pre-register, they can do all of that now. And get in and start using the gym so they don't have to wait as far as that goes.
That's cool.
Yeah, the place is wild.
How, and you're going to be offering the same training and all the stuff that you did at the previous?
So a little different.
Because
we're specifically based around MMA. Like we don't have kids programs. We do have a teen program. We're kind of keeping it like an adult sort of based environment and platform. It's not going to look like a normal MMA gym. It's going to be done up, sort of like the way Fusion decorates as well.
Right.
It's going to be real cool looking on the inside. And we have a lot of MMA classes, MMA striking classes. So it's not like a Muay Thai class, a Jiu-Jitsu class. It's like MMA striking, everything geared for MMA. We do have no gi Jiu-Jitsu. We're doing gi Jiu-Jitsu as well, primarily for me, because I love gi Jiu-Jitsu as well. So wanted to throw that in there. And then we're also doing combat Sambo as well. So combat Sambo is pretty much just like MMA, but with the top on. So we're looking to get some of our athletes back on the USA teams and get back and win some medals. From the old NPR Endurance, I believe that we probably had more combat Sambo medalists than the whole United States combined out of our gym.
Out of the gym.
Yeah. The only time we ever beat Russia in Russian Sambo, in combat Sambo, was the President's Cup in Scotland. We fought. So there was a 4-on-4. So every country brought 4 guys.
Okay.
And we had 4 guys from my gym. Myself, Johnson Jujut, which I mentioned earlier, and Pat Sabatini and Evan Chmielewski. And we took 2 gold, 2 bronze. I coached and fought in Scotland. And that was the only time we ever beat Russia. Was 4 guys from NPR.
4 guys. There's something.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So yeah, so that we were. Yeah, we had a fun night that night.
Good time. That was a good.
We got after it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so
it's kind of like the 80 Miracle, right?
Yeah,
hockey.
Yeah. Well, so one of our head coaches, this guy Mikhail Kozitsky, he's about as high up as you get in Russian Sambo. He's from St. Petersburg. His whole family. His father was a famous Samboist judoka and everything, and he was there, and he's at almost all of these international events. And, and he's very, very Russian. Everything is shit, right? Everything that we do is shit. You know, I'm like, hey, coach, how'd you like that move? Yeah, shit. You know, the guy's awesome, but yeah, he's very, you know, tells you like it is, sort of, you know. And I didn't know we beat Russia until he came running down with a big old smile on his face. He was going nuts. And so we were happy that he was actually finally happy.
He was actually happy.
I've never seen a guy smile in my life. The only time I've seen him smile is like when he's making fun of somebody or something, you know? And so when he was smiling and he was getting after it, you know, that definitely hyped us all up for sure. You know, it was a cool moment. Yeah, another cool milestone, I guess, you know, beating Russia and Jacksonville and some of these other things were a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So the off the grid dream is still there. You were just there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yesterday.
You were just there yesterday, drove up from Tennessee in the ice and got out of the storm, luckily, to come back up here.
So cold. Yeah.
Well, it's cold here. It's cold all over except for like Florida. I think it's like the one they say the one state that decided not to opt into winter.
Yeah, we all got hammered, didn't we? Yeah, and it's beautiful down there. You know, the property, it's in the middle of nowhere. We're about as rural as you get.
And you started, there was nothing. It was just a piece of land.
Just a piece of land, that's it. There was a little box sort of cabin that was on there that was in the middle of like a floodplain area.
Right. I remember some of the videos that were,
yeah, there was like mud up on the walls and things like that. And but that was it. So since being there, we've regraded the land. We built a pretty nice sized cabin. You know, we've got water and all of these things. We've got a shipping container out there that we're making into another cabin. Built this giant greenhouse, and so everything that you pretty much would see, like if you happen to check out my Instagram or anything like that, everything that's built out there, pretty much built by hand, and maybe some help with, you know, friends or family or whatever. But the inside of the cabin, every board that's on the wall like this, I've sanded and cut every single thing, you know, and really enjoy doing that. We built a lot of the interior of the cabin from wood from the property, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Is it completely off grid? Because I know it was originally, right?
So it was originally. So we have power there right now. So I had power lines put in. The only reason I have power lines is really for building. And I already have, so I have all of the solar stuff and everything and ready to go. I just don't want to put it up on the cabin right now. I'm afraid someone would break in if I'm not there. Yeah, because you know, if you see solar panels, there's all your other components and batteries and things like that. So that's literally the only reason why we're even hooked up to the grid right now. We have everything ready to go down there. As a matter of fact, I've got all this shit in Faraday bags and everything in case there was like fucking...
He's ready to go.
Yes, fucking solar storm, something like, I'm a nut. Yeah, so I got everything ready to rock. So eventually we'll have it totally off the grid.
Okay, like so that's the ultimate goal, is to...
Yeah, I want to be... the fact that I don't have a water bill down there, I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Right? The fact that I don't have a trash bill, I don't have any of that stuff down there. I love it. It's just like fuck all this shit up here. Like, I love the fact that, you know... I don't have a heating bill. I got wood burning stoves. I'll chop my wood. You know, I love all of that. I can't wait until one day we've got all the gardens and animals down there, which we're building all of that stuff like right now.
Yeah.
Everything's. The first goal down there was to set the place up where if anything, if there ever was a situation where there ever was a natural disaster or something like that up there, we'd have a place to go down there and be safe right away. So we have multiple sort of living areas. And the infrastructure got set up, as quickly as we could, rain catching barrels, gutters, basic stuff like that. And then we just kind of keep upgrading and making things bigger and more comfortable for, I want to have my mom down, and I don't want her to feel like, she's camping or anything like that. I want it.
It looks gorgeous. I mean, we'll put in the comment section or in the description, we'll put a link to because go check it all out. Because you post a lot of stuff of you building stuff and everything that's out there. And it's from when I remember seeing it originally, when it was that dirt and it's flooding and everything else, all the problems that you had there. I mean, it's come a long way.
Well, we're now, so we had to build a bridge to get onto the property. So we had these like 3-foot culverts that we put across the creek and then gravel over the top of that. So we had 4 3-foot culverts. And terrible idea, because our creek it goes from a nice little creek to it gets biblical because you have all of these mountain areas that all the rain comes from, and it's just building up speed and momentum, and then it opens up into our property. When I was first starting to build down there, I put a bunch of stakes out on this lower level of where I wanted to build. Like, I'm like, this is where my pole barn's going to go, And this local, I ran into him. He's got a big dairy, or he has like dairy cows.
Okay.
He's kind of up the mountain from me, but he's like one of my neighbors. And he's like, yeah, I saw you put them stakes down there. He's like, you don't want to do that. And
he gave you a fair warning.
Yeah, he did. He goes, that whole area is underwater like once a year, the whole area. And I was kind of like, yeah, it's probably not that bad. And then I'm down there like one year for like a Christmas Eve, and while I'm in this like little box that was in the floodplain, water is just spewing in everywhere. I had to pull my truck up, had to jump in the back of the truck, and you're just kind of like, what the fuck did I get myself into? This is crazy. And but since then, so we ripped the old bridge out that we put in. We put in a new bridge with 8-foot culverts, 2 of them.
Okay.
So now nothing is getting dammed up. We regraded the land. We brought up the land and the banks of the creek. We regraded the land around the cabin, and it looks like we're good as far as the flooding goes. We're 2 or 3 days ago with all the snow. We'd gotten a lot of rain down there, and heavy amounts of rain where I was stressing out a little bit, and I've been down there twice now in major rainstorms since we've redone the banks and regraded everything, and it's held up. So now that it's held up, we can actually plant some bushes, and we can actually make the exterior of that lower level of the cabin look nice. We can actually build everything else.
You feel confident that it's.
Yeah. I think we managed that problem. There's a couple other things we're still going to do on the far end of the property where the creek is, so we can kind of make drainage ditches. So at least if it's going to flood, it can flood down on the far end, not up near around the cabin.
Right.
So we still have to build some of that out. We already did. We put in like another pond down there, but we're going to kind of tie it into the creek so the water has a place to go. But yeah, now that all that stuff's done, we can actually, because I had driveways, I had all the shit, all the rocks got washed away. Twice I redid like driveways. I used to have a gravel road washed away.
All gone.
Yeah, like twice. So then I was kind of like, yeah, let's just see if we can get this problem handled first before we go build anything else down there. So
yeah, man, water can be destructive. I mean, it'll take anything with it, right?
Holy shit. And within like 2 or 3 hours, the whole property, it would start to drizzle within 2 or 3 hours. It looked like my cabin was in the middle of a lake. Like, went to a country concert one night in Knoxville. It wasn't even raining when I left. Came back, I go to drive on the property. It was a lake, and it was at night. I'm like, thank God I knew where I was going.
Driving through water.
Like, what the hell? So I had to pull the truck up to the porch of the cabin, and get out of the windows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like that fast. It just goes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but looks like we've got it under control, and go out there shooting, which is nice because we can shoot at night. You can do tactical stuff, shoot prone. You can do whatever you want out there. Obviously we keep it safe, but it gives me a chance to go out there, work multiple targets, and
yeah,
you know, and
you get to train your girl too.
Yeah,
she's out there. Give her some pointers.
Yeah, not a great shot. Luckily, we got a big dog and myself though. She almost shot me with a Roman candle. So she has great aim with fireworks. And moving targets as myself, but yeah, everything else is
nice.
Yeah,
that's funny.
We're good there.
So I want to make sure, like I said, we'll post in the description links to both your page and the endurance page, right? Is that up now?
Well, so it's the Encoded page.
I'm sorry, the Encoded page.
So yeah, Encoded MMA. That's on Instagram and that's on Facebook, and from that you can find me if you wanted to look at any of the ranch stuff. You know, I'm just at Erik _Purcell Purcell. I'm pretty easy to find everywhere as far as all that stuff goes. But yeah, check out the Encoded stuff.
Yeah, you definitely, before he moves down to Tennessee, and you have to go down to Tennessee to get some training. You can get it here local.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so also on that as well, the Encoded stuff, you're going to see a lot of training videos on like how to do things. Yeah, there's a lot of jitsu stuff. I have a YouTube page. It's called the Victory Project.
Okay.
And that we even have some tactical training things as well too on there. Some of our hand-to-hand stuff we'd video and put on there. We have like one handgun disarmament video. We might even have some of the vehicle safety stuff as well too on there. But so that's the Victory Project. So if you wanted to go, and they're just straight up how-to videos from jiu-jitsu, boxing, everything like that. Of course, it's all free. We've got an Instagram page, but
cool.
Everyone always shit on all the tactical stuff. I don't know if you've experienced that yet.
You do. You get haters.
Heavy, right? And here's what I like to say about that. Kiss my fucking ass, right? Nothing is foolproof. No shit, okay? Like, we know that. Yep. This is someone comes up to you and they stick a fucking gun in your ribs and they're going to blow the trigger. What are you going to do? Like, you've already tried to give them your watch and your iPhone. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
This is last ditch shit.
Yeah.
Walk away from any situation you can, you knuckleheads. No shit. Okay? Like, nothing is foolproof out there. Okay? Yep. So if someone puts a tactical video up that is trained, they know how to do this, they work with the Army, understand the context of all this stuff. I love you all, but like, fucking relax. Relax.
Well, I appreciate you coming in today. It's been really fun.
Yeah, it's been great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So just make sure, if you have any questions, put them in the comments section. I can, Erik and myself will both be happy to answer any questions that you have, any comments and so forth. Make sure you do that. Again, always make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Go to our Instagram and Facebook as well, and check us out there. We're always trying to put out new content, and we're keeping with the podcast as well, and we continue to get a lot of great success. So I really appreciate everyone that's become a subscriber and continuing to support us as a company at 360 Precision and everything else that we've been doing. And make sure you go check out Erik. He's great.
I appreciate it. Hey, and lastly, real quick, so I got the tour of this whole place today. Fantastic.
Thank you.
The whole process from all the milling and your staff and everybody like that. I mean, this place is, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but it is kind of like a distillery / cigar factory. I mean, it's if you like all of this stuff, this is the place. You need a VIP card. You need a gold card to 360 Precision. This place is pretty damn awesome. So if you ever get a chance to check it out, I highly recommend checking it out.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Very cool.
Well, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you soon.